In this video, let's add our drainage network to a profile view. Quick tours, we've got a topographic surface that I've got turned off, a corridor and its associated surface and alignment, and a drainage network that we've laid out. And we now want to display these in profile view so that we can do some engineering design. In order to cut a profile view, we must have an alignment. Under alignments, we have the create from network parts. I'll activate that and you can step through the structures. So I'm going to choose my low one because I want to go from low to high, and I'm going to cut an alignment all the way to here. And notice that it's selected all of the structures in between. And now you've got your default alignment creation tool box, and you give it a name and the appropriate styles and labels if you want them. I'm going to turn this off for the moment and hit OK. And it generated an alignment along the structures. Now, notice that this is going to here, which is not correct. So sometimes this will happen, and I wanted you to see it wrong so that we could show you how to fix it. And if you have this happen, it means there's some connectivity issue in the network. You may have been swapping parts and stuff like that, and sometimes the program gets a little confused. So I'm going to delete the alignment we just made. And if I zoom in right here, see how this pipe is squared off to this? It's not projected all the way to the structure. This is manhole 3 and this is manhole 7. If I come up here to the pipe properties, it says it's from 7 to 3. So connectivity wise, it's right. But for some reason, the software has gotten confused. So I can actually grab this pipe, and if I act like I'm going to reconnect, move it around and just reconnect it to the same structure, look what happened. It reconnected. See how it's tied to it now? So if you get that alignment issue that I showed you, this is more than likely the case. So you might have to do a little housekeeping before you cut your alignment. And I'll pause the video while I correct this, and then we'll come back. Now that we've made that, we can go through and make our alignment one more time. And now we're to where they should be. And that sometimes happens when you have different rules to your pipe, so keep that in mind. Trust but verify. Another housekeeping is that we know that profile views will cut at the beginning and the end of an alignment. The beginning is not that big of a deal in this case because it's at the end of a pipe, but the end is at the center of a structure. So if you're wanting to see any distance beyond that and you don't want the structure to be just falling on the end of the profile line, you'll need to extend these. So I'm going to extend these 10 feet on both ends. And if you plan on having a spillway or something on the downstream end, you may want this to be even longer, so keep that in mind. And you can do this work after you've generated the profile view, but since we know it now, let's do it now. Now we've got an alignment. We want to cut a profile view. In order to cut a profile view, we've got to cut profiles. So I'll come up here, cut my profiles, choose my appropriate alignment, and add the profiles and set their styles. And I'll go ahead and draw in profile view. Step through these, stationing, set to automatic. The elevations look good, they're set automatic. Labels are turned off. Here is what we're caring about for this video. Here's our network. So we can turn on our network, and notice that it selects all the objects in the network when I do that. Now I'm going to intentionally leave it with all on, even though we know we're not cutting a profile through all of our structures. I'm going to create this, come over to this view, and let's plop it right here. And here we are with a profile view with our structures projected onto the profile view. Now, a moment ago, I added all the structures. You can see these double lines here for two different structures, and the same thing here. We did that so that I could show you that if you select the profile view, you go to its profile view properties, under the pipe networks, we have the ability to at any time change what is being displayed in the profile view. Pull that over, and I don't remember the structure numbers, so I think it's 6 and 5. So let's come over here and let's turn them off. So manhole 5 and manhole 6, and I'm going to turn them off, and now they are gone. So you can dynamically add and subtract things from your network to a profile view you've already generated. You can select any network object or part in profile view to get your dynamic ribbon, and you can see that when you select a pipe, you have several grips. The middle grip allows you to move a pipe up and down parallel to its current slope. These grips allow you to move it by the invert or the crown. So I can graphically adjust these along the invert and crown if you're doing this graphically. You can also, give an instance, I can drag that up and match that invert. I can come to its pipe property, and in here I can adjust any of these parameters manually as well. So let's say we want to set a good engineered slope, so I'm going to hold the end and put in 6%. And when I hit OK, the pipe adjusts to 6%. So you can do that as well here in profile view. Now we added all the pipes and all the structures, and there are pipes crossing the roadway coming into the side of the inlets here at manhole 2 from manhole 5, and down here at between these two, which should be this inlet. And notice that I do not see that pipe. Now, if a pipe is connected to a structure, it is managed through the structure style. If a pipe is truly crossing, it is handled through the pipe style. So if I select this, notice that I get no properties. But if I select it in plan view, I can see the properties and I can see the style that's assigned to it. I'm going to come in here and edit this style. Give it a moment, and there's those errors I was telling you about. Under display and profile view, you can see you want to have your structure pipe outlines turned on. Okay? You want them turned on if you want to see the pipe connected to the other side of the structure. Well, they're on, but I still don't see them. Another oddity is this. This is pipe 5. Let's come over here and view our profile view, and I actually don't want to see pipe 5 because it's not on it. When I turn it off, now it's on. So the two are overriding each other on this structure. So what appears to be is that if you have a pipe that is coming in and you have a style set for it to display in profile view, it's going to override the structure and won't show it. So that's what's happening here. So we also want to get rid of pipe 4. So once again, I'll come over here and turn off pipe 4. And it's still not there. We don't see it at all. Now why is that? It's because this pipe is still wildly wrong. So how do we adjust it? We can do it through the dialog box, or we'll just cut another alignment. So let's cut an alignment from this structure to this structure. I'm going to give it a name, pipe 4, and this time I'm going to leave this on. Hit OK. Same steps as before. Draw in profile view, and we're just going to skip down here to this, and notice that when this box is checked, it knows which pipes and structures are along said alignment and will only display those. So we're going to create a profile. Let's come over here and put it next to it. And you'll see that this pipe is actually just sitting here on top of the topo and not in this structure at all. So I'll just drag it down like we talked about before. And the profile view did not update. So let's go to our elevations. Yep. And let's set the minimum to be 230. And now I can see my pipe. So I can set this invert to match. And then I will set a good engineered slope of 1%. Hit OK. Now this structure is still not displaying, and sometimes this will happen if you're getting those errors like I have, and this is all, if things are working right, this won't happen. And what I can do is I can come in and select this part and I'll swap it. Just swap it to 60, and you see how it immediately appeared, and I'll swap it back to what it was so it's correct. And we've talked a lot about pipes, but when you select a structure, you can actually pull its rim up and down graphically as well. So now that that's all drawn, let's come over here and see if it is displaying, and now it's displaying in our profile view. And that's it for this video. It's getting pretty long. We'll jump into doing the rest of the engineering design of this in another video.